What's up, guys? My name is Hunter. I am a U.S. Army veteran, and today I'm going to be reacting to the 2022 Air Force Recruit Boot Camp video. Oh, no, I'm sorry. It's 2021. It says what new airport recruits go through. So let's check it out.
Move forward, move forward. Move on.
You're trained level 6.
This
Stop talking when I'm talking!
is Air Force Boot Camp. Before they join the United
Mob
States
gear.
Air Force or Space Force, all trainees must graduate from the Air Force's 7.5-week basic military training program, known as BMT.
Our mission is to...
Are they wearing their covers backwards? Under their helmets, are they wearing their covers backwards? What the fuck? Why? Just put the helmet on. You've got an IOTV on. Just slap the damn name tape on there. Unless it's supposed to be like that guy. I don't have my fucking. I don't have my my cursor on. But unless it's like that guy sitting by the corner over there. That's fucking weird.
Motivate, train, and inspire the next generation of airmen to deliver 21st century air power.
Training happens here at Lackland Air Force Base,
San Antonio.
located just 10 miles outside of downtown San Antonio, Texas.
I've been there.
On a
Quite a few
sweltering
times.
week in August, insiders spent 4 days observing different squadrons at various stages of training.
Whenever I said I was going Air
Pocket.
Force, everybody was like, oh, the Chair Force, like, basic's gonna be nothing. And I was sitting there thinking, man, I should have went another route. This is gonna be way too easy.
You're wearing your failure all over your face!
And I could not have been more wrong.
Varies. Some people think it's easy. Some people
On
think it's the
day
hardest thing
one,
ever.
New trainees arrive on a bus from the San Antonio airport.
Some of these kids come here never having left home, no job experience, but not long after they leave here, they're going to be given a job and a task and expected to perform that task with no supervision.
There, hug your back, nothing falls out.
What the hell's this guy doing?
And expected to perform that task
What's that guy doing? He's just standing around, walking around, all nonchalant, like... Dude, military bearing. What the fuck?
with no supervision.
There, hug your back, nothing falls out.
Dude. Oh, special warfare. That guy is
About
fucking ripped.
35,000 trainees graduate from
So, like,
BMT
I'm guessing
each year.
if they have
The
special
average age of a
warfare
basic
it's
training
slapped on their
is
arm.
20.6 years old. What that means is they don't remember a time when our nation wasn't at war, but they raised their hand anyway, and they said they want to serve.
All trainees are sorted into smaller groups known as flights. Although training squadrons
The guide
are
on right there.
composed of both male and female trainees, the flights are divided by gender. During 0 week, male trainees receive haircuts. Female trainees
So, in the Army, we had 0 week 2. I went to Fort Jackson, so it was AG 120th. That's where we were assigned, uniforms. We got our shots. We got placed into our companies and our platoons that we would be going to when we finally got to our units. And they say that basic, honestly, you can cut basic down. They say, oh, basic is 10 weeks. In actuality, your training is only like 7 weeks. So their training is like 6 weeks. Because that first week, it's nothing but processing bullshit. Getting your bank account set up, the haircuts, the shots, the uniforms. Just bullshit. It's just nothing but bullshit. And then, of course, your last week, well, for me, the last 2 weeks was basically nothing. It was 0 week, and then week 1 through 0 week to week 3 technically was red phase, because I went before yellow phase. Then it was white phase, but that's if your drill sergeants really said, all right, let's change the flags. And then you were at blue phase. They were broken up via hammer, anvil, and forge. You completed the hammer, you were in white phase. You completed the anvil, you were in blue phase. You completed the forge, you were in victory phase. My situation was different. I'll get into that later. But yeah, you can cut boot camp down like a week or even 2. Like, I only did 7 weeks of training. It was week 2, which was to week 1, all the way up to week 8, which is where my forge was. And then week 9, it was nothing. And then week 10 was graduation and leaving.
Trainees must wear their hair in a bun, a ponytail, or up to 2 braids.
Right away, the Air Force wants to get a little muscle on those pretty arms.
Females were first allowed to join the Air Force in limited roles in 1948. And in 1976, began being accepted on an equal basis with males. Today, 20% of the Air Force's active duty service members are female, along with about 25% of all trainees at BMT.
I think the Marine one said that 6%, I think, at Marine Basic were female. And 20% are at the Air Force. I mean, different branches have different callings, so.
Trainees learn how to line up and march in formation from their military training instructor, or MTI, which for some can be easier said than...
What? Why are they doing facing movements at parade rest, and why does this guidon look like he's lost in the sauce? Dude, what the fuck? They're standing at parade rest doing facing movements. What the fuck?
done.
Lost in the sauce!
There you go. Leave it all on the track.
Mornings at BMT begin at 0600 with physical training.
5 seconds. Come on, man. Keep going. All right, you're done.
All trainees must pass a physical fitness test during the 5th week of their training, which consists of 1 minute each of push-ups and sit-ups, as well as a timed 1.5 mile run.
Good job. Keep going, gentlemen.
They kind of flip a switch during PT from MTI to personal trainer.
Good job. Good run.
Like they come in and they really
Good run and all that stuff. My drill sergeants, when I went to basic, were whenever it would be a run day, they'd be like screaming at you because you weren't faster. One of the drill sergeants, Drill Sergeant Abney, he was the 2nd platoon drill sergeant. He was very memorable. He was the short Filipino drill sergeant. And trust me when I say it, the Filipino Mafia is very fucking scary. He was also really funny too because he was also an airborne infantryman. So when someone was running, he looked at them and screamed at them, "Your running gives me diarrhea, trainee!" They weren't really motivating. Like, it was, well, I'm not going to say they weren't motivating, but they weren't like, good hustle, good hustle. They were like, hurry the fuck up, kid.
encourage you. If you're struggling, they'll tell you.
It was always like, we got shit to do. You're running slow. And it was always games, Oh, who won between these two doing push-up? Oh, you did? Guess what? Loser, take a lap.
Like, hurry up, let's get this done, and they'll do it with you.
There you go. Burn through this last lap. There you go.
After morning PT, it's time for breakfast, known as chow. But meals aren't a time for...
Whoa, 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 whoa! That guy had like 3 scoops. Must be fucking nice. When I went to basic, it was always, if you wanted something, you got that. If you fucked up and got like that tiny scoop, guess what? That's all you got. 1 scoop. Whoop, whoop. That's all it was. So you had to try and finesse it. A buddy of mine did that with Jell-O. He finessed it and got this huge glob of Jell-O in one fucking thing. And one of the drill sergeants looked at it and he goes, "Okay, it was 1 scoop. Good on you."
Relaxation.
Sir, Flight 727, Dormitory Alpha 1 is prepared to enter the dining facility from the west side.
It's the responsibility of the chow runner to announce their flight's arrival to the dining facility.
So I was in Navy Basic 2 back in 2018. This was also the thing. It wasn't a chow runner. It was the yeoman. The yeoman did that. And then the RPOC would be like 10, port side, something like that. I remember it was fucking 4 years ago. But back in Army Basic, we didn't do that. We had a sergeant who was training with us, so he would tell us, he'd be the one that the drill sergeants would say, you know, hey, Sergeant S and 10 in, and he'd say 10 in. And we didn't go based on like that. It was based on the line. So here's one file, another file, another file, another file. It's like 10 this one. And then you go 10, 9, 8, all the way down to 1. So that way people knew, oh, well, he was 1, I can't go, but I'm very next one in.
Storm Bravo 6 is prepared to enter the dive facility from the east side. Bring him in and seat him. Bring him in and seat them. Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
You gotta do the right amount of steps, the right drill movements. You gotta say the right words.
So I noticed that they're using bottles of water, like it's bottles. I had that was also back at Navy Basic 2, and they do that at Coast Guard Basic, and I think they do that at Marine Corps Basic 2, but I think Marines also have the Camelback as well. But Army, just straight Camelback. Always had a Camelback on you throughout basic training, and I guess it also varied depending on what AIT you went to. But in my AIT, we had the Camelback as well. That shit made your back so sweaty, and the water was never cold.
Or you're gonna get screamed at.
We always had to use our fucking, our laundry room sink.
Really, it's an important job because you represent your flight. They put people in there who got confidence issues, you know, to build their confidence.
So you're forgetting to do...
Yeah, so best bet is if anybody's trying to go to basic, blend in. Don't be noticeable by overachieving. Don't be noticeable by being the fucking fuck up. Do what you're told. Disappear within the crowd. I had a buddy. We called him Willy Wonka because of an incident that I'm not going to get into. We literally were 2 days until graduation, and one of the drill sergeants said, "How long have you been here?" And he goes, "I've been here since the first day." And he says, "Are you sure you were on a recycle?" He said, "No, drill sergeant, I've been here since March 2nd. And that was the day we started basic training at Alpha 239. And he goes, "All right, well, I'm still not convinced that you just came here out of nowhere." So he did it perfectly. He was blending in. He barely got noticed. So that's the way I say you go through basic. Blend in. Unless you want to be that overachiever that always has a drill instructor staring down, looking at you and breathing down your neck because they want you to do everything. Because they see you as the person who can be the leader and they want to break you down.
So it's what got you. Stop talking when I'm talking!
You gotta really be stable to be able to remember everything and then be in that fire and, you know, perform well. After doing it a few times, it get easier.
Attention to detail is a critical...
Unless you get fired. That's happened before. We have had PGs get hired and then fired 5 minutes later. Not even kidding. And it's pretty fucking funny.
Critical aspect of BMT, and it starts in the dormitory. Trainees are expected to keep their living areas and uniform.
They got fucking chairs! Must be fucking nice. I had a floor.
In pristine condition. During 0 week, each trainee is assigned a rifle, which they learn to care for.
My heels are pretty much trying to touch the ground, and I'm facing downrange.
Yo, why don't you wrap the fuck, I can't remember the name of it. The sling. Why don't you wrap the sling around so you can get a better grip on it? If you have the sling wrapped up, like your opposite arm that you're not firing with, it's gonna have a harder time. You're gonna have an easier time holding it up. Wrap the sling. It's easier.
35% of BMT is classroom instruction.
Right now, what you're gonna do is go to the high kneeling position.
Trainees learn the basics of how to hold their rifles in a variety of different...
Why is your buttstock all the way in, dude? Looking at your height, you look like you're about 6 feet tall. You're holding it like this. Pull the buttstock out and get it into a comfortable position, guy. What the fuck?
shooting positions.
Because we're an expeditionary force, an airman can find themselves.
I do like that that discipline right there, though. Trigger discipline.
Training culminates in week 6 with an event known as BEAST, which stands for Basic Expeditionary Airman Skills Training.
BEAST puts them through all the things that they have learned in 5.5 to 6 weeks, and we rehearsed it, if you will.
I was right. They are wearing their fucking covers backwards. Just put them in your pocket. That's weird.
During BEAST Week, trainees live in a simulated combat environment.
The MRE.
They are tested on various field training exercises and scenarios.
Tents that are solar powered.
Test.
Look at that. Like, they got this fucking thing. It looks like it's air vented because of that big old like puffed up tube right there. I didn't even have a tent when I went on my forge. My company, we never even opened our tents. We literally slept in the sleeping bags out in the weather.
Tested on various field training exercises and
it's fucking solar powered. And their mop gear with their solar powered fucking tent. Some of these guys got fucking BDU like mop gear on.
and scenarios.
That shit never
I
changes.
want their backs to hurt, and I want their feet to hurt after that 5 days of training out in the field. Because they need to ingrain to them right now the character. What does it take to be an agile airman and an agile guardian in the United States Air Force?
Trainees first learn how to safely load and fire their weapons in the classroom.
So, you know, they're slapping the side. Yeah, that's how you send the bolt forward. But I learned from my infantry drill sergeant Adling. You smack the butt of that weapon, it'll send the bolt forward too. And all through basic, me and my battle buddies, especially the males, we were just like, pa, hitting the back. Because we thought it was fun. We thought it was funny. We thought it kind of made us look cool. It's like, oh, we're badasses. Pop, hit the back.
Before heading out to the firing range.
The line is ready. Fire!
Where they'll fire their weapons from several different positions. Trainees fire a total of 76 rounds and must hit their target.
That's a very specific number. Why 76? So for mine, it was we did 5 for training, so we could zero in our weapons. And then when we went through the actual course, it was 20. So, but a lot of people needed to zero a lot. So, because they were having trouble. And I think we probably expended definitely a couple hundred rounds. I know for a fact that I at least expended about 100 rounds when I was at basic. Going through zeroing, the course, and the night shoot at the forge.
On at least 12 of them.
Also went deaf in my right ear
Trainees
doing
who
that.
score 22 or higher qualify as expert.
What? 22? Expert? It's 23 in the Army just for the basic badge. For advanced, it's, I think, 33. And then for expert, it's 36. No, it's 28 for advanced, and then it's 34 for expert. Did she say the side of your gun?
If they lose fundamentals, they get frustrated. They tend not to qualify.
You guys ready? Yes, sir. All right, let's do it again. Let's go.
But if you keep them motivated, that part will ensure that they either qualify or get that expert.
There's a sense of accomplishment that when an airman leaves here that they...
So, like, they're being trained by civilians? Guaranteed, they are definitely prior service themselves, but normally you're actually trained by someone who, like, I know in the Marines they have an entire Marines and Navy, they have an entire force trained to train you into, you know, firing your weapon. But in the Army, your drill sergeants just train you. They're the one who zero you. They're the one who train you how to hold it, load it, fire it, all that shit.
They're confident in
So that's interesting.
operating a weapon. Some people come here, they've never touched any weapon of any kind in their life. So that confidence is important to us.
Trainees don gas masks during CBRN training, where they learn how to
gas
protect
chamber.
themselves during a chemical, biological, radiological, or nuclear attack.
CBRN.
Let's go, let's go, let's go! Get out of here!
I think that you have 9 seconds to put your mask on, secure it, and then make sure it's sealed. And if you can't do that, then you're dead. That's what I was taught. And the CBRN chamber, they say like, I think 1 out of every 100 is unaffected by the CBRN gas. I was not one of those 100. I felt it when I went in because I had razor bumps on my neck. And it was like a cold burning sensation. And then I took my mask off and I said, PFC, stop. And then I started hacking. My eyes felt like they were on fire. Mucus was coming out of my nose. It was bad. It was bad. But at least the cold I had for like the past 2 weeks at that point had gone away for about 2 days.
Trainees run through a simulated attack and conduct post-attack reconnaissance of their surrounding area, where they check for damage, as well as any unexploded explosive ordnance. Due to COVID-19 protocols, trainees are not exposed to any dangerous chemicals during BMT, but training that does include exposure is scheduled to return in early 2022.
Wait, so they took away the gas chamber? Y'all had it easy. Gas chamber sucked.
Trainees are also
medical.
trained in Tactical Casualty Combat Care, or TCCC, which teaches them how to perform potentially life-saving first aid in combat.
Once I go through once, I'm gonna go.
So, what were we taught? Are you injured? Can you return fire? Can you get to cover? Stay down, I'm coming to you? Something like that? I think that's what we were taught. Because I'm guessing they're not allowed to be near each other to put tourniquets on. I had a tourniquet put on me, both my arm and my fucking thigh. And it gets to the point where you can't even feel your fingers. You can't even bend your fingers because they gotta tie that thing so fucking tight. And one time it pinched me, it twisted my skin and pinched me. It fucking hurt. So we had to put tourniquets on. We had to put wraps on, all that shit. It was a fun time.
Go back to the opposite direction. That's what's going to create that direct pressure.
The trainees learn how to properly apply tourniquets, as well as how to evacuate a wounded airman.
So that position he's using... Yes, darling? That position he's using, that's how, say, they got, vomit in their mouth. That's how you put them. It's a comfortable position that's so they don't choke on their own spit or their tongue or their vomit or their blood. If they have it in their mouth. It's a fetal position.
To safety. Skills they'll need to know when it comes to the culminating event of Beast Week, simply known as the Village.
Village, huh?
The trainee's mission is to infiltrate the village and rescue an injured airman located somewhere inside.
Timmy's missing a leg!
But the sounds of gunfire and explosives, along with the presence of role players acting as opposing forces and innocent bystanders, make for a stressful environment.
We had something like this on our forge. Actually, we had it in all 3 of our FTXs. The drill sergeants would pick a couple of random people and say, hey, you're going to be the bad guy. And, they'd throw fake grenades, they'd fire back at us, and the drill sergeant would go, hey, trainee, you're shot, you're dead. And if you died, your battle buddies had to carry you all the way back up the hill. Because we went down a hill to do this.
We all kind of rushed in and then didn't really know what to do. We were all just kind of like looking around like, what the heck is going on?
So chances are, yeah. So she's saying that, they didn't know what to do. It's not that they weren't paying attention. It's literally that the drill instructors gave them a basic overview. This is what's happening. This is what you got to do. This is who you got to bring back. They probably mentioned, yeah, there's going to be blanks. There's going to be sound effects. There's going to be people out there. But they're not going to tell them, oh yeah, we're going to have someone in that building and they're going to point their weapon at you and fire blanks at you in exactly 2 minutes and 32 seconds. No, it's an on-the-spot thing because in battle you don't know when that shit's going to happen.
We had a plan and then it completely fell apart. Like as soon as we walked through, pretty much, it fell apart.
Bang, 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 bang.
We are responsible.
Yeah, that shit happens. Because none of them, there wasn't one person looking back to notice that. The whole team was looking forward when someone should have been looking back to notice the bad guy.
For throwing the different scenarios at them, having them feel the pressure while they're out here at the village. That way they can actually use their minds and think about what it is that we've taught them and trained them on in a scenario where they're actually.
There's your casualty
pressure.
right there.
Put your hands above your head. Put your fingers. Spread your feet.
Trainees are taught how to defuse situations with opposing forces and are instructed to use minimal force on those who are non-compliant.
What do you do when they don't comply?
But the stressful environment can...
I've had that situation. Like, we took down the casualty and my drill sergeant, because I was team lead, was like, all right, Stark, we're missing something here. What are we missing? And I was standing there like, well, he's dead. No one's injured. I got a full mag still. His weapon's jammed. He was like, you didn't take the weapon out of his hands. You don't know if he's dead or not. Move the weapon. And I remembered that from my anvil. So whenever we took down our enemy, I picked up their weapon. I moved it about 5 feet away because the drill sergeant who was with me at that time, Drill Sergeant Payne, said, all right, that's far enough. And we got, she said that was the best one that we'd had because, we did everything we needed to. We took down the enemy, moved our target, moved the weapons away from them and everything, and we got the objective done.
Cause some trainees to freeze.
Can I see? Oh, thank you.
Or overreact.
Don't let anybody take your weapon. Just takes it and run. That's a smoke session right there. She froze up. She's like, can I have this? Thanks. And then just gone. That sounds like a drill instructor right there doing that shit.
Drop your weapon on the ground.
Put your hands up.
Some of the things that I see most of the time, which is very detrimental to.
Yeah, they're not listening or complying. They're a danger. Put them fucking down.
Our force is trainees utilizing deadly force when they're not supposed to be.
Why did you shoot me?
You have a grenade in your hand and a weapon in your hand, sir.
But how did you know it was a grenade? You're that far away, you don't know. And I'm not pointing my weapon at you, why would you shoot me?
Obviously, we all know that's against code. It sets us back in a mission that we're trying to accomplish overseas.
Bang. Hey, sir. Common mistakes, not forming that 360-degree perimeter. I see that all the time.
Yeah, like I said, you got the entire group looking one way. No one's focusing that a guy's coming behind you and you're dead. So you've always got to have the very last person facing backwards. So if they see someone, oh, what you doing? Dead.
Hey, wingman. Bang.
What are you doing right now?
No 360-degree perimeter. I want them to make mistakes. I want to.
Hey, if you shoot
Okay, never mind. I thought I saw someone with their finger on the trigger.
somebody out in the desert and they didn't have opportunity, capability, and intent, you're going 11 work. We try and expose the mistakes. That way they can make them here where it's a safe environment and actually leave.
I kind of overlooked that, but yeah, he makes a good point. There are situations where, people go into combat and their nerves get to them and they shoot someone, but that person doesn't have a weapon nor intent or didn't even do anything to warrant them getting killed. It's just that the person who shot them freaked out. And that can give you a life sentence at Leavenworth.
The village with a different understanding of where they need to work on themselves.
Good job.
Having survived Beast Week, the trainees returned to base.
So I'm guessing the ones with like the pin, I'm guessing they're Space Force Guardians now. So instead of being airmen, they're specialists.
After
Yeah, some of them.
graduating from
Why is your cover so lopsided, guy? Some had like a Space Force pin over them, so I'm guessing they're Space Force Guardians.
basic military training, airmen and guardians head to technical school to start the
Yeah, like that right there, Robinson. She has what I'm guessing is a Space Force thing. Does it say Guardian on it? I can't read it, but I'm guessing she's a Guardian.
next chapter in their journey in the U.S. Air Force and Space Force.
Those who joke about us being
We actually had the opportunity, to fill out a piece of paper and say, hey, I want to request a branch transfer from the Army to the Air Force. If it got approved or denied, I can't tell you.
Chair than just sit on a rock. We must outthink our enemies every single day and how we fight. But what I would tell those who joke is to stand a post because we have a nation to defend.
What are you slapping? What was he slapping? The bolt's already forward. Why are you slapping the side? If your bolt's not fully forward, you slap that little thing in the back. Okay. So, yeah, that was what new Air Force and Guardian recruits go through. The video just says Air Force. But a few weird things, but, they're trainees. What are you going to do? And a couple of things I had to joke about. I was a soldier. I was in the Army. So, yeah, I'm going to roast a little bit because I went through a different experience and all that. But overall, they're still serving. They're doing what they should be doing. They're doing what they feel is right. And, a good chunk of them born after 9/11. So they don't remember the towers falling. So it's still a good thing that, they still have that need to serve and everything. And it's a good thing to experience. I say, I think everybody should at least talk to a recruiter, see the options, because there's a lot of good benefits for doing it. But that is all for this video. Thank you all so much for watching. Bye-bye.